Just because you ladies are unmarried don't mean you ain't got no man. You just don't have a husband. You're not a wife.
Only ugly men. Y'all went to the singles event, but all of the men that was there was just saying stuff I ain't like.
People ask me often, why am I single? I am not ready to be the woman that I need to be for a man, nurturing his emotions.
You're doing great on responses. I have 55 responses. Unfortunately, they are all women. This is so stupid. But I just went live on TikTok to try to talk to people in real time. And the only way I told myself I'd do it is if my best friend.
My Christian matchmaking career.
And I'm having a visceral reaction to TikTok not allowing me to let her in as a co-host. We are doing great on responses. I have 55 responses. Unfortunately, they are all women. So that's not going to work. You guys, we need to find eligible men, and I know they're out there. I literally only know one man, though, that I wanted to do for this sort of setup, and he pissed me off last night, so I don't want to help him. I'm going to gatekeep. He's not worthy of you. Not right now. Not when he's in the doghouse. Anyways, maybe that's not funny to anybody else. I'll tell you.
It's funny to me.
That felt like one of the most vulnerable
55 women
of my life. And I know that two of you guys that follow me, y'all saw, so I'm sorry.
That's a laugh of desperation. That's a laugh of ridicule. The reason why she feels that way, 55 women and 0 men. Imagine this. Like, why is this happening everywhere? Come on, guys. All of these women that are complaining about these things live in different states. Seriously. Some may be in New York. Some may be in LA. Some may be in Chicago. Now, I say this. Not every event. You can find some dating events that go good. But for the most part, men are not responding to these things. Right? And you got to ask yourself why. Why are men not responding? Look what you just said. Like, yeah, I want to help out guys. I wanted to help out my friend, but he's in a doghouse right now. You just said you put your friend in a doghouse, and men have been in a doghouse for so many years. Come on now, somebody talk to her, right? Oh no, don't look at me while I'm in the gym. Don't even look my way, but you still go to male gyms. They have female gyms out there with nothing but women go. But no, you go to the male gyms and then you record if men are looking at you. And then you go out and say, oh, I get tired of men come to me in clubs. So what's happened? Men stop hollering at your clubs. A lot of space. You got to understand what's happening.
Okay, I need help with this one. Maybe I'm just a dummy. Maybe I just lack understanding due to my stupidity. Will somebody please, ladies, tell me what classifies you as a single woman? Because I seen something the other day on social media talking about men don't go to single events. There's just women there. What classifies you as a single woman in 2025? Now, I always looked at man as either married or free. Married meaning they have a wife. Free meaning they free from a honey to-do list. I always looked at women as married or unmarried. Just because you ladies are unmarried don't mean you ain't got no man. You just don't have a husband. You're not a wife. But now that I've gotten older, and y'all probably trying to figure out where I'm going with this.
You know, he said this, right? And what do you hear a lot of them saying? Not all, but a lot of them. And I even heard this from Sprinkle, so you can figure where they get these things from their elders, right? You're single until you're married. I hear a woman saying, date the next guy, right? Monkey branching. The infamous monkey branch. Do you think that's going to keep men around? And that goes hand in hand with, are you really single? Because a lot of you aren't single, but let him talk. He's cooking.
With this, oh, I'm going somewhere. Now I've gotten older, I look at sex, something y'all love to talk about. I look at it as more serious. Why? Because we all got here through the action of sex from our mama and daddy. Yeah, some of y'all shower accidents. Yeah, your mama and daddy got it in the back seat of the Jeep or the Cadillac. Your mama face down, her ass up, and you were conceived. But I like to think it's serious. That makes life serious because you got here through the action of sex. So that means, ladies, if you're single and you consider yourself single but actively with somebody, whether you're a booty call, friends with benefits arrangement, you somebody weekend P, you know, say you a married man side chick, you're in a serious relationship. So the next time you question why men don't show up to these singles events, there's nothing but women there, I'll tell you why. All y'all taking. Y'all in serious relationships. It's hard to say in 2025 women aren't actively having sex. They don't have somebody on the back burner. That slam, bamming, thank you, mamming them, spanking them, and
Yep.
screwing them and doing them. Humping, pumping, dumping,
Yep.
leaving, using, maybe even abusing. This is not a judgment. I'm just saying, what defines you as being single? If you're actively serious, life is serious, and a sexual relationship is a serious relationship. I would love to hear your comments.
I second that, brother. And guys know that. That's why I said all the time. Guys don't want to take a woman. This is what's happened. Why would I take you up to date when it's somebody you met and just let them smash? That's a serious relationship, right? Because usually it takes 3 dates. It shouldn't even take 3. Like, this is the wild thing, right? We're dating right now. And I didn't like it, right? I got to a point I just wanted to smash. And say if I take a woman out on a date, usually it takes them 3 dates? That's kind of short, to be honest. If you want to make someone your wife, that's kind of short. So 3 dates, and if you like my attitude, which I know how to put it on, not act either. This is who I am. So when they see me and I am who I am, girls like authenticity. So I show that. And then when they say, oh, wow, this guy is really about his business. He really does this. What happens? Hooked. So the 3 date rule, I would pass with flying colors if I had to go through it. So, but do I want that to be my wife? Right? When I met my wife, and that's why I like that we talked online, because I couldn't have just smash and dash. Because most likely that's what would have happened. I wouldn't have dashed though, because she showed the energy she showed me was that she was ready and willing. And I'll be honest with you guys, I did not handle that first. I didn't, but I'm still married right now. 9 years going on 10. Go figure. Now this next video, this guy, I think somebody switched off the brain. You guys know I like to say that.
Homegirl invited me to this dating event in Charlotte. When I went to the site to look at the tickets, the women's tickets completely sold out. The men's tickets widely available, like 90% of them were not sold. Can't even afford to take women out anymore.
You had 22 seconds, and the thing that you came away from an event that there was no men at was men just can't afford to go. Dang, I was just at a lesbian ballet recital. I ain't seen no dudes nowhere. Can't even afford to go to. That's what you sound like, you goofy ass. I wish these was perks, because it would make it easier to actually stand y'all. You know what a lot of y'all problem is? A lot of y'all got that Stevie Wonder disease. Y'all pick up a phone, see everything that everybody else is seeing, and then suddenly just forget that this should ever affect real life. I ain't never been to a singles event in my life. Yet at the same time, I ain't never seen a time where singles events was getting talked about more. You know why you don't see dudes at singles events? Because of every video that y'all do about not seeing dudes at single events. Every other week, it's another one of y'all. Oh, y'all, I went to the singles event and I ain't seen no men. Y'all went to the singles event and it was only ugly men. Y'all went to the singles event, but All of the men that was there was just saying stuff I ain't like. What y'all going to singles events for? Every day is a singles event. You just pussy, so you don't talk to the girls you really want to talk to. The same thing for y'all girls. You pussy, because you don't talk to none of the guys that you like. Niggas not going to singles events because I could go to brunch by my damn self.
Yeah, guys do see it like that. And see, he's coming at it from an angle like where I'm from. But it's not like that, bro. It's not. You have to understand, not everybody's like you. Seriously, as a human, you have to understand not everybody's like you, right? Like, if you are trying to get someone to do Bible studies for you, you ease in. You don't just, hey, this is about this about that, this about that, this about that. You don't be a bulldog right away. Also, when you try to slide at some buns, just come here, girl, give me that. Some girls you can do that too, but not all, right? You gotta work it. So I say this: men don't go for the reasons he said, but also for many of the other reasons that I just named when I reacted to the first clip, right? That's why guys aren't going, and many, many, many more. So many things. Another one I just talked to my wife about was women, you'll talk to them, and then they'll give you that, oh, you need to try harder. So they'll reject you so you can come again. Now, I always did well with that stuff. But so a lot of guys, no is no. He's not going to keep pushing and pursuing and trying a different angle to get you, right? Because no is no. So a lot of you ladies like to get your ego boosted by having a man try harder. No is no.
I got like 20K views, 500 likes, and I know that's not a lot to some people, but it's a lot to me, so I appreciate y'all. So he said women don't want men who would need to go to singles events. And I'm not going to lie, there's some truth to that. A lot of the type of guys women are looking for aren't necessarily the guys that'll walk into those events. But my point in making that video wasn't necessarily to try to attract the guys that they want. There's no guys going at all. And I think that has to do with, like I said, the marketing. But let's address this comment specifically. Somebody else commented about another video where a young lady who went to one of these singles events said that the guys there weren't giving. And that's like a common term women are using nowadays. I never seen the video, but I can only imagine how that video went. Makes a lot of sense. But I think that we need to realize what these single events are. These are people who aren't in relationships, and there's reasons these people might not be in relationships, you know what I'm saying? So you have to understand what you're going to get into, you know what I'm saying? Not everybody's going to be uber attractive when you go to these events. And let's be honest, when you go to these events, not every woman is the, stereotypical attractive woman for whatever reason. So I think just if we're trying to actually have these singles events be successful, we have to realize, look, these are single people, and we need to go in here and try to make some kind of connection. If you're going there looking for a supermodel or Prince Charming, maybe be ready to change that idea just a little bit. But tell me what y'all think. Appreciate the response to the first video. Go ahead and comment, let me know. And I look forward to seeing what y'all got to say about this one.
Yeah, I think my man here missed the part. I don't think he is very aware of what's happening with women nowadays, and also what's happened. He may not have been paying attention to it, but I'm sure he has. And it's tragic out there. Men are not going. The first guy was right. He said men aren't going because women are talking about it, and a lot of men are saying it, and men are saying it on different platforms. It could be YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. These ladies, Facebook, these ladies are exposing themselves on every platform. Think about it. Add all of those platforms together. I was looking at a video yesterday, right? And it was showing the world's #1 platforms. And These things are placed on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. Those platforms are platforms that get the most traffic in the world. I'm talking about billions of users on them. And then also, you're putting these things on TikTok. They're being reacted to. They're being placed by other people who may not even be in a managed first space or development content. They're posting these things on these platforms that have billions of people. So that means any man can see it. So you ladies have to understand marketing. You market it. See, you talked about marketing. Women have marketed negativity online for so many years. Only thing that's happening is coming back full circle. What you put into the world, you heard that before, right? Guys, come on now. And but to always say about insanity, doing the same thing and expecting different results. They're doubling down. That boggles my mind. It's like all of this is happening. It's finally came to a head where guys have responded. Oh, they said, oh no, forget that. I'm doubling down. And they're doubling down. It's like, oh, these women are real special kind of slow. Seriously, you have to be a real special kind of slow to put this out to men and the public for so long. Men are responding. I'm doubling down. And you see more and more girls doubling down. And it's like, I look at it and I go, we're in the Matrix. Like when you hear guys that are passport bros say the West is the Matrix, this is what we mean, right? Look what I just explained. They keep doing it, and you got to step out of it as a man. Seriously, join me real quick as I talk to you. As a man, you got to say, okay, I got to step out of that. This is how I look at it. I have to step out of that and step into somewhere else where things are much better, where I can eat better food, where I can live for cheaper. The woman are cooperative. It's not heaven because there's no perfect place on earth. And I know that. When you know that there's no perfect place on earth, you'll be straight because you'll come out, you'll go somewhere else and be like, wow, this is what I need. A reset. It's all a reset.
My therapist asked me to make a list of what I want in a relationship with a future partner. And I am going to specifically reference a man because that's what I'm looking for. But I'm honestly curious if these things are asking a lot from a partner. So I'll share them with you. A man who can reassure me when I'm feeling insecure is a really, really big green flag to me. Because I will tell anybody I'm an insecure woman. It's the way I've always been. And I am working on it. But if he can simply reassure me, that's huge.
Run.
Because I will do the same for him. I feel like this one kind of speaks for itself, but a man who is proud to have me as his girlfriend. That would be nice. I want a man who continues to date me, who continues to put in that effort.
I gotta stop it right there because she's gonna talk for quite a while longer, right? And she said, I need a man who can reassure me. I don't feel confident now. A lot of what's going on with you, you could be doing a number of things that makes you feel that way, that makes you feel agitated, anxious. You could be not getting enough sleep. You could be not drinking enough water. Many things that are things, small fixes you can do to change it around. And she doesn't even realize it. But then she needs a man to do that. Maybe she needs a man to tell her, I gotta tell you, but guys, I gotta say it. She needs a man to actually put her in line. I know. I'm sure if ladies are watching this right now, look, talking about this is what I mean. Not put her in line, but hear me out. She needs someone exactly like I'm doing right now. She's drinking coffee. Okay, stop drinking coffee. Oh, you sleeping late? Stop sleeping late. Get up early. Oh, you doing this? Are you working out? Like, these are reasons why you don't feel secure in yourself. Seriously. Because when I get to pumping some weight, after I feel like, oh man, I can take on the world. You guys know the guys that work out know exactly what I mean. All those positive hormones come in your body. You start feeling good about yourself. You're looking at your body as it's developing, going, "Ooh, I'm killing them. I'm looking good in my shirts." I want to hear what else you're gonna say though.
Even after 1, 5, 10, 20 years, don't ever take me for granted. Someone who is excited.
Run.
Sorry.
Oh shit. Oh. No, that's no good.
Someone who is excited to come home to me.
Guys, when she started breaking down like that, it's like, run! Seriously, when she, like, I'm thinking about if I was still single. When she said, cried, I'm running. Why? I'm not supposed to fix you up. I'm not the quicker fixer-upper. You know, like the Bounty, the quicker picker-upper. I'm not Bounty, the quicker fixer-upper. That's not me.
Someone who genuinely accepts all of my oddities and quirks. Because if you tell me you love the weird things about me, but you get embarrassed when I'm in the grocery store and standing in the freezer section trying to decide what type of ice cream I want, and suddenly I kind of do a little shoulder dance to the song that's playing over the loudspeakers.
That's normal.
Who hurt you?
That's not genuine. This next one is really, really important. A man who aligns his words and actions. A green flag for me is somebody who leaves their phone face up. I don't need to read your messages. I don't need to go through your phone.
I'm going to stop right there. This girl is damaged and not a man who's trying to find somebody who has it together somewhat. Because not everybody has it all together. We're not perfect. I'm not judging her, trying to say that you want a woman that's perfect. But in this day and age, and if you're a man in my age bracket, or even a little bit younger, in your 30s going into your 40s, that's around the age she's at. You don't want this. This is a headache.
People ask me often, why am I single? I am not ready to be the woman that I need to be for a man, nurturing his emotions, catering to his ego, handling his manhood, increasing his value all around. The commitment, the dedication, the respect, the encouragement, the availability, the appreciation. Also altering my decisions and lifestyle to complement his. If he has children, building a relationship with them and their mom, understanding over time that people change, so I might have to relove, reaccept, and readjust. And through all that, I have to maintain that commitment and more if it's problems. It's much more to relationships than worrying about if he cheating, if he gonna provide for me financially, and taking IG pics. We can have fun, make great money, have for men that's willing to give us a ring, but the value of a ring will never hold more value than a man that's giving it to you. I am not going to get in a relationship because it's convenient or where friends, family, and society think is fitting for me. If a man marries me, I would like to be what he wants, and I provide him with the daily internal reinsurance that he needs. The bonus will be the exterior things that I can do. The handsome hoe hero.
Same thing, different toilet.
Being independent at such a young age and just like doing everything by myself, paying for everything by myself.
To adulthood.
Kudos.
Booking my own
Kudos
trips,
to you.
like having things under my name. It makes me not want to have a man around, to be honest, because it's like, what do I need you for? Like, am I the only person that feels like that? Am I the only person that feels like okay, girl, like you got your own apartment, you be booking your own trips, you be paying for your hair, you be paying for your nails, you be paying for everything. And then the moment I get to talking to a man, and I really like try to, you know, get in tune with them and try to get to know them, it's like why?
No, girl, I'm playing around, but you're an adult. Congratulations. You're doing a good job. You're off to a good start. Guys, give her a participation award. Yes, give it to her. Heard it back. The independent girl with the braids. Participation award. She's in 10th place. Yes, that's just the start of life, lady. Let's hear what you have to
Why
say.
do I need you here? Now, of course, I don't ever want to get into a point in my life where I feel like I need to depend on a man. I was raised to always depend on myself. Even if I get a man, I was raised to always have my own money, always have my own backup plan and everything. But it honestly just turns you off from speaking to somebody. Because the moment they do something wrong, it's like, okay, bye, because I don't need you. I don't need you. I mean, I pay for my own. I pay my own bills. I get my hair done. Look, I had these braids in for, como dice, 4 days. 4 or 5 days, and I'm taking them out because I have a hair appointment in 2 hours. I knew I was going to want to wear these braids when I came back. I booked my own hair appointment. Like, what? Like,
Oh, man, I can't play this video anymore. This girl just started life. She has to be. I'm looking at your face. Man, the West is done. If you're a man and you can't see the West is done, this is proof. This is the future. My son has to look forward to this, and I won't let it happen. I won't, I remember when Passport Bros started getting popular. I was already, with it, but it started getting popular. You see parents saying, I'm going to push my son to be a Passport Bro. You guys already seen, I have my son in different countries already, and on my video, the Black Filipino TV, definitely subscribe if you don't know about it, the Black Filipino TV. But yeah, I had my son out here, had him in Japan. We flew by Africa, all these different places. But if he finds a woman, it'll be outside. Now, I won't stop him if he finds a good woman inside. That's all about everything, but I can't let him go through this. I just can't. I can't.
My dating stories, and one of them encouraged me to start recording it and posting it because they were like, you'll probably find other women or experiencing the same thing, create a little community and commonality. Sure, why not? My friends laugh at these stories, but y'all, in these dating streets, it is literally the wild, wild west, depending on who you bump into. So I want to tell y'all about my most recent encounter with this guy who I'm going to call B. Long story short, B and I met on a dating app, and we realized quickly once we got off the app and exchanged numbers that we actually went to the same high school. Now, for context, I don't remember him. He gave me his name. His name is pretty generic. And once I told him my name, he didn't really totally remember me. But once we exchanged pictures, he was like, oh, I do remember you. So I was like, okay, cool. So we're chit-chatting. I talk about how I was married almost 10 years. We got divorced in 2021. And he's like, oh, okay, I was married almost 10 years too. We got divorced 2023, right? He specifically says November 2023. I said, oh, okay, cool. Now, one thing about me is I'm real good on timelines. So, and keep that part of the story because you're going to need to remember that. So as we start talking again, I'm like, oh, okay, well, what happened? He explains what happened. I explain what happened with mine. We both have pretty good explanations, right? We both took accountability for the parts that we played. We talk about the parts that our partner played. Good stuff so far. So as we're talking, I realized that I mentioned that my ex went to middle school with me. And he was like, oh, I've been in a district all of these years. Do I know him? What's his name? Tell him his name. And I'm like, no, you don't know him. He went to the neighboring school district. He's like, oh, okay. So then I asked him, I was like, well, what's your wife's name? How do you know her? He was like, oh, she went to high school with us too. And I was like, oh, really? What's your wife's name? And he says, yeah, you're not getting a name. You can hang that up. And I was like, okay. Like, once he said that, that immediately created an orange flag for me. We went past yellow and straight to orange because now something's not adding up. So as we're continuing to talk, I actually address him about the way
The man doesn't, he knows ladies are like this, and this lady, oh man, What are we to do as men? She could say all of the bad things and not relay the bad things she's done and how it. She doesn't know. Only a therapist can be in the middle and break that down. You can't go to her and ask questions. The only way to know the truth from her is going to her therapist. But let me let her finish.
The way he said that, because I was like, why wouldn't you just say I don't feel comfortable sharing that, right? Because to me, the way in which you say stuff at this big age, I don't really feel like I'm gonna be teaching a man anything. You should know how to have good conversations with people and how to choose your words. He takes accountability, apologizes, says you're right, there are gonna be some things that I work on. Cool. So then he starts working a plan this date. As he's working a plan this day, I mentioned to one of my friends, like, oh yeah, these are a few people I'm talking to. We're kind of doing a rundown. These are a few people I'm just chit-chatting with, getting to know. I mentioned that he goes to high school, and my friend says, oh, if that's so-and-so, he was married. And we're going to say Z. He was married to Z. I say, oh, okay, cool. She shows me a picture of Z. I don't remember Z. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, no, that makes sense. But based off what she said, him and Z are still married. And I was like, what you mean they're still married? She was like, I don't think they've gotten a divorce. So I go to him and I start asking him a few questions, just because now I'm trying to pinpoint the timeline. I just need enough information so I can go do the research myself, because everybody knows that divorce is a public record. So it's not really hard to figure out who is or is not divorced or is married. So he tells me a few things. I ask a really sly question like, I say something like, oh man, I need to start getting some things planned because my birthday's coming up and I want to celebrate my birthday. And he says, oh yeah, that's cool. Definitely plan something for your birthday. I'm trying to plan something for mine because my birthday is coming up this date. He drops the birthday. As soon as I have that information, I go look online, pull up the information, and I'm like, this is a little contradictory from what he told me. So I asked him again. I said, so when did you all get divorced again? Now take in mind, the timeline has now changed. He's now like, oh, we got divorced January or February of 2024. And he was like, because I think we separated April of 2023. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he was like, well, because I mentioned, like, he didn't want to tell me his ex-wife's name. I was like, oh, I actually know your wife's name. I knew a lot of people in high school, so a friend of mine knew your ex-wife. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah, I don't have no problem with you knowing her name. She's just a very private person. He said something to the fact of like she lusts for privacy, like she likes being super secretive, so much so that she still wears her ring. Now, sir, ain't no woman who done with you, ready to move on, ready for a fresh start, wants to move on and enjoy her life and create community with somebody else, wearing a ring. If she's still wearing a ring, still using that last name, still presenting married, then that means something. That means something. So he starts running the timeline. Then he was like, oh, well, that's the second time we were actually separated, because we're really separated. So now all of this context is now being added to the story. And I said, oh, that's kind of interesting that she's still wearing her ring. Like, how does that make you feel knowing that you're actively attempting to date? Oh, I don't feel no way about it. That ain't got, it is what it is. Y'all, I go to the county website, put the information in. Divorce wasn't even filed until November of 2024. Okay? He's talking about they got divorced in November of 2023, but then maybe it was January, depending on the timeline, because he gets busy and forgets. But anyway, this man, not only did he not file the divorce, she filed the divorce. And the divorce is still open. And it's actually set to be dismissed because there's been no activity on the divorce. So in about a month, the county is going to dismiss the divorce filings because they haven't even done anything on it. So the whole time, this man out here on dating apps, entertaining people, talking about how much he loved God and all of these things, and he is out here married. Whether or not he is still in the house with her or legally, I do not date married men. I'm not interested in it. You can have it. Go on and stay over there. Y'all figure out what y'all got going on. So I call him on it. I send him a voice.
I gotta stop this, right? Because she's talking on and on, and she's dragging it. Now, this is most likely what happened. The guy is broke, doesn't have enough money to file for divorce. It costs money, and he doesn't have the money. Now, he doesn't want to file. She pushed it through. He probably didn't even want the divorce in the first place. Usually men don't. But he knows she's divorced. He can't stop dating people because you know what happened? I guess he probably feels that way. He'll be lonely unto himself, and he wants to make sure he keeps going on with his life. So he made a mistake of talking to you because of your age. You're looking to get married. You're going to search and everything. And yeah, that's why a lot of guys go younger. But still, these women, she searched and scraped and found her way outside of having a man. And she didn't even know it. The guy could have been a good guy. Probably wasn't a headache. But they look and they search for everything. And then when you search for things that deep, a lot of times you're going to find a problem when there was no problem in the first place. But yeah, guys, thank y'all for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe. Peace out. See you next video.